What's going on there, YouTube world? Austin Lewis here, coming to you guys live with another video. And as you guys saw in the title and in the thumbnail of this video, we are going to be talking about crude oil. Yes, crude oil. Flammable and smelly. We live in some strange times right now. Is this the Armageddon of oil? Now, before we even jump into the video, it is history time. So pull out your pen and paper and get that ready to rock. The first time in US history, oil drops below $0. You heard it here and you heard it correctly. Oil has plummeted down the toilet bowl 305%. This translating to nearly negative $40 a barrel. This is likely the lowest you will ever see oil in your own lifetime. Again, just to reiterate the severity of this is the first time in US history that one of our largest commodities has dropped before a whopping $0. To take us back in time just a little bit here, the most recent incident that this can even remotely be compared to, the oil prices were just above $26. At a minimum, for the US to make a profit or even break even, the barrel would need to be priced at $20 a barrel. Most considered the 2016 crash of oil. What is this? The obliteration of oil? To give you an idea of where oil stood in June of 2019, it was selling at a whopping price of $107 a barrel. How did this happen? Let's yet again point the finger at our evil arch nemesis, Mr. Rona. That's keeping us all at home on this lockdown. This clearly means more than boredom. This is cars aren't going on their weekly commutes. This is cars aren't filling up with regular gas. Jet fuel consumption is at an all-time low. Cruise ships docked for more than months. Cargo transportation also at an all-time low. On April 10th, consumption of oil fell to the lowest we've seen in over 30 years for oil, with jet fuel being down by 70%. This boils down to the economics, supply, and demand. There's a collapse in demand and still a surge in supply. How does this happen? The collapse in demand is clearly due to less travel, but things get a little more complicated. It was recorded that the US was pumping out 13.1 million barrels a day. And why? This helps manipulate the price of oil. Oil is perceived to be rare. When something is perceived to be rare, this allows inflation on goods. But let's rewind to 13.1 million barrels produced per day. We're still pumping out oil like we're breastfeeding a newborn, but there's really no newborn to feed. Companies that are not shutting down in hopes they can make it through this rough patch, suffer short term, prosper long term. Let's just ask a very simple question. Why are we stopping the production? To start with, shutting down oil production is the first sign of closing your doors for good. The cost to simply shut down and restart production is greater than strapping in and holding on tight for a couple of months. But will most companies make it through these months? Most likely, no. The con of this? Where is all this oil going to go? Let's myth bust this headline wide open. You can get paid to take oil. Let me be the first to say no, you can't just pull up, grab a barrel, and get paid to take the oil barrel. What this means is that they're producing so much oil that people with futures are looking to pay ahead of time for this oil. Take it like this, for example. You get the oil, figure it out after that. That's essentially what this world is really coming down to. These futures expire April 21st, meaning deliveries go out with nowhere for this oil to go. Again, not as easy as it sounds to find storage. Crushing Oklahoma, the largest oil storage in the US, was at 70% capacity last month. Crushing is projected to be completely full by the end of May. This is the same amongst the other storage facilities that are almost completely full. Some say, what about storing it on a cargo shed? That can cost up to $335,000 per day. let's put all of this in an engineering perspective. Take California, for example. California is a clean energy state, meaning most of their energy is derived from solar energy. California produces too much energy during the day, therefore they pay a service like APS to take energy away from them during the day. However, at night, they need the energy back. So they then pay a second fee to receive the energy back, to supply the energy to the state of California during the evening. The next guy to invent storable energy will be the next Einstein and trillionaire, by the way. This is what is happening with the oil in a nutshell. Why can't oil companies just slow down the production, you guys might be asking? Well, they have most of the time. The bigger picture, who's the last one standing? Yes, the United States is in a face-off with competing oil distributing companies, as well as countries. The US is ranked number 4 for the highest distributor of oil. Ranking above the US is Saudi Arabia, Russia, and Iraq. You see, Saudi Arabia can retract oil for around $3. Add in shipping, etc., it's a total of $9 and some change for a barrel. For them, this is breaking even right now. The plan for the competing countries is to see who can keep producing oil without going bankrupt, to ultimately have control over the oil industry. This is one of the ultimate forms of power and the ultimate reason that the US can't stop producing oil. So you guys might be asking, where does that leave us? Now that we're aware that May oil futures are listed in the negatives, the United States is fighting to stay on top and the world is ending. Just kidding, but let's chat real quick about what this could mean for the United States if a similar oil companies or corporation were to go bankrupt. Let's take a well-known but not large oil business such as Transocean. If Transocean were to go bankrupt and debt alone is totaled at $8.6 billion, not only is this affecting its investors, but the banks too. Let's keep going and add in Diamond Offshore with $2.8 billion of debt and the Chesapeake Energy with $9-something billion in debt. The delinquencies added just between these three could shut down large bank corporations. And I don't need to spell out what happens if banks shut down, do I? Again, stay tuned for more oil crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, Austin Lewis here. I just figured I'd come to you guys with a video and really summarize on what is going on. Why is oil literally dropping below zero? It absolutely scares me, it amazes me, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts. So make sure and drop in the comment section below what your guys' thoughts are. Have you guys started investing into the stock on oil? Have you guys not? What are your guys' concerns? What is it that you guys see? Again, Austin Lewis here. If you haven't already, make sure and go smash the thumbs up button on this video. Make sure and go subscribe. Turn on that little notification bell because you guys can get notified for every single video that we come new on a daily or weekly basis for those of you that are watching. Again, Austin Lewis here saying we'll see you guys in some future videos.